Yo, it's David from Team Tryhard, TTH, here with a Nubatama list, and we're just going to start with it. We got stuff. We can just get this out of the way. Alright, so starting off, grade 0s because it's the lowest grade. We got Karasadoji. A bunch of people asked me what this did. It's a grade 3 searcher. You don't need to read it. Stop asking to read it. Then we got draw triggers and 4 heals, and then crits. So I like standard, so I ran standard triggers, except for heal triggers because I like resources. So we ran resources. And we ran lots of crits because you want to sneak in early damage so that you can kill them late game with your hand loop combos. Draw triggers are here because you don't have room for grade 1 perfect guards, so we ran them in the trigger lineup. Heals, like I said, resources are really important. You use all of your soul for bird, so you need to get soul somehow, and that's riding or this thing. Also, you sometimes run out of counter charges, so sometimes you need counter charge. Next up, we got 3 stride fodder, because you like to discard for stride. We're not Anj, where you just do it for free. We got 4 of this and 4 of this. Alright, so this lets you discard 1, draw 1 on place, and filtering early game. Works on Vanguard. This lets you discard 1, draw 1 on place, but it also counter charges sometimes, so it's really good. Lets you counterblast more, lets you play stuff early game, and lets you do stuff and draw into your combo pieces. We'll put those aside. It's only 11 grade 1s. That's all you need if you're not a coward. Just draw into them, lol. Next up, we got grade 2s. More standard cards. You can play them early. This is really good because it draws 1 on place, but it also costs a soul, but it also doesn't cost a soul because it puts itself back into soul. We got other cards. They draw you cards when you dominate stuff. You always dominate stuff, so you always draw cards off of them. This one also lets you kill stuff, so you get rid of annoying stuff that you dominate, so that people can't just like call the cards they want to play next turn off of Rene, because it doesn't get to stick. This card's also really good because it lets you rush early game, and then you put into soul and bounce your stuff back, so they can't like swing at your rear guards and take them away. Really solid. Like I said, you want to sneak in early damage so that you can kill them with your combos. Next up, grade 3s. We're going to start off with 4 bird. This is your main win con. It's one of the strongest cards in the deck. It lets you bounce their field, and then they discard 5 cards. You have to discard 2 sentinels. Protect helps you with 1, and then you just have to draw into another perfect guard. Not that bad. Like I said, you get 3 soul just from riding to grade 3, so that's already there. Then we run 6 protect grade 3s. Run 3 of each because it's not really better than 1. You go first, you can like discard a card going first. This lets you like protect stuff. It's good against Ichi-Tom because you can like protect from Ichigashima, and then the protect marker lets you guard Tom. Pretty solid, I guess. Next up, 1 of Zonki. It's really good. It's searchable. It just lets you just have, it's just a 1 card like aggro engine because you just dominate stuff. Once you combine it with Rene, your dominate is +10 plus a crit, so it's really strong by itself. Just a good card. Last up, G-Zone for Rene. It's from set 14, so it's good. Yeah, if you don't know what Rene is, just look it up on the internet. It's a good card. This card makes your opponent have 4 cards in hand. There's a lot of times where you just look at an Anj player and they have like 20 cards in hand, and you're like, man, I really wish my opponent had 4 cards in hand. So then you just do that, and then you burn them to make them discard 5. Pretty good. This thing, I put it in like just a couple weeks before the tournament. I wasn't originally running it. It dominates stuff, and then it kills something. It's a good first stride. It lets you just get rid of a problem card that's on the board. A lot of decks, since like control decks aren't very good right now, a lot of decks just like aren't playing around like spot removal, so it's just really good. Then we have this thing. I like straight it once against like an Ezel player. Wiped his field. Lets you drive check 2 for discard 1. Pretty solid. Uses soul though. Kind of unfortunate. Then we ran 2 G-guards, and then 2 G-guards, and then 2 more G-guards, and then 2 more G-guards. I started out with 7 G-guards, which is a lot. And then I had a Seabreeze in here. I was like, Andrew, do you or me need Seabreeze more? And Andrew's like, I need it more. So I just gave it to him. And I was like, Does anyone have a card I can play? And I found a Cray Elemental card, which legally I'm allowed to play. So I just ran a second Rack Tome. I used it once, but I already won the game and I didn't even use its skill. This card's really good. Make sure your opponent discard a card or else you get shield. It's either a free big shield or makes them discard. You usually use it aggressively to make them like overextend. This card's really good. It gets shield. It's usually plus 15 shield for free, as long as they have 6 cards in hand, which they always do. We have one of these. Usually they play around it. Usually you don't have the resources, but you still play one because it's a good card. It steals one of their grade 1s. And then one of this just because, I don't know. Maybe they have 2 cards in hand and you need 5k shield. I don't know. Yeah, that's a Nubatama deck. The important thing about it is that when I built it, I decided to build Discard Turbo, but Discard Turbo is awful. You don't want to just like turbo out Bird, because if you're playing against Anj or any deck that like gains advantage, if you don't kill them, they just bounce right back and you're out of resources and you don't do anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to the team, TTH. Shout out to my dog for chewing on my hat. Yeah, I really like this hat. I still wear it. Shout out to Bushiroad for providing me a deck box. It's kind of a little squished a bit, but it still does.
Into soul.
Also, shout out to Nubatama for being pretty cheap online. Just pick it up. Like, it's honestly not that expensive. It just completely debunks the thing that premium is really expensive. The deck's like 150. Lol. Speaking of that, shout out to TCG Player for selling me 53 copies of Karasadoji. Don't know where it went. Threw it kind of early. Yeah, thanks for helping me know, man.
Oh, man, I got you. It's in Soul somewhere.
In Soul, yeah, it always goes in Soul. Maybe I Soul Blasted it. I don't know. You just look it up. Karasadoji, Stealth Beast Karasadoji. You can find it. I think they have it on Ideal. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.